Hi everyone, today I'm doing a slightly different video than normal. I was going down my Goodreads TBR list, which currently stands at 30 books, which isn't that many. But it doesn't count everything I've got floating around the house in actual physical format that I also need to read. But what I decided was I needed to prioritise some books that I really had to read sooner rather than later. Rather than letting my TBR list get longer and longer and these books getting pushed down to the bottom of the list and ignored, I wanted to say, no, I'm going to read these books first. So I've picked 8 books, most of which are part of a series, and nearly all those series are complete now. The last sort of books will be coming out beginning of next year. So I have a good chance of being able to, if I enjoy the first book, blitz my way through either trilogies or a decent length of collection of books. So I just wanted to share with you the books that I've prioritised from my TBR list. So first up is Into the Dim by Janet B. Taylor, which looks a bit like this over in the UK. This is the first of, as far as I can work out, a trilogy of books that is historically based time travel set in Scotland, and I think it was either Jessica the Reader or Benjamin of Times. I can't remember which chap it was, so apologies if it's the wrong one. Had read the first one, they've got an advanced copy of the second one, and were really loving it. I have read some criticism about the portrayal of Scotland and how Scottish people talk, so I want to try and get my hands on a library copy of this to give it a go and see if I actually like it. It has got an endorsement by Diana Gabaldon, but that could mean anything. Sometimes endorsements by authors I don't think are actually everything that we should take at face value. So I would like to try it though and give it a go. Next up on the list is another big historical book, again endorsed by Diana Gabaldon, but this one's been around for quite a while, and it's Into the Wilderness by Sara Dante, which looks like this over in the UK. Yeah, we get all the interesting covers, don't we? This is very much a historical romance family saga along the veins of Outlander. It is the book series that Diana seems to suggest an awful lot to other people who want something like Outlander to read, and I think this is a quartet of books, so it follows one family through a point in American history, and it appeals to me, to be honest. I love Outlander, and anything that's very similar in style I'm going to enjoy, I think. The next set of books on my list is the Across the Universe trilogy by Beth Reeves. I keep looking for this in my local library and never find it. It's so frustrating. What's really annoying is the first 2 books were published initially by another publishing company and had beautiful, cliche, romantic, YA, sci-fi covers. They were gorgeous to look at. And then the 3rd book came along in the series, and I think it was published by a different publication company, and they gave us this sort of, I don't know what they were thinking, because as far as I can work out, these aren't the tone of a romantic sci-fi series, so unless there's something I've missed in the synopsis and this is more accurate, I'm not sure. But anyway, romantic YA sci-fi series kind of appeals to me. I sometimes want that kind of thing to read, so I keep looking for a first copy of this. If I can't find it, I'll probably have to go and buy it in the end. Then there's this gorgeous cover. This is The Map of Time by Felix J. Palmer. I think this is a French publication that's been translated, I'm not sure. But this is, again, a trilogy, and it's Victorian steampunk time travel kind of thing that's been built up. I have to admit, this went on my Goodreads list purely by the cover. I really like the cover. It has got several different covers, and knowing my luck, I'll probably get one of those boring, plain sort of contrasty 2 colours covers that seems to be all the rage at the moment for YA, but I love the steampunk-esque of this. Yeah, I like Victoriana, so I'm happy with this choice. Okay, this is a series that has been recommended several times by Reagan from Peruse Projects. This is the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy by Ray Carson. Apparently Ray Carson is a really good writer, and she's really enjoying the other stuff written by him. This is a YA fantasy series, so tick tick, I'm happy with that, with a strong female lead, so ticky there, and beautiful covers, so tick again. Then there's Falling Kingdoms. This is by Morgan Rhodes. This is the first in 6 books, which the last one comes out beginning of next year. An epic fantasy series, again recommended by Reagan and Peruse Projects, and I can't help it. I'm a bit of a sucker for nice fantasy covers, and this does kind of appeal, and the fact that all the covers match, which is really, really nice. So I keep hearing good things about this series, that it's a really good fantasy series to be reading, so I want to give this a go and see how I get on. But again, I can't find a copy in my library, which is so annoying, so I'm probably going to have to bite the bullet and actually buy one of these. Then there's Grave Mercy, which is book 1 in the His Fair Assassins trilogy, I think, by Robin Lefevers. I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if it's wrong. I saw this when I was up in Scotland and remember thinking that's a fabulous cliched YA cover. I mean, so cliched. But I read the blurb of it, which I actually can't recall much of now, and it really appealed. It's historically based, but twists the whole thing, and we have a female assassin, which, you know, in history is not often spoke about really. So it ticks that box for me. And the fact it's a trilogy, I'm kind of intrigued by it. I'm hoping it's a trilogy anyway. And then finally, there is Fireblood by Ellie Blake. This is book 2 in a series. Back in July, I read Frostblood by Ellie Blake. This was recommended by Benjamin of Tomes, and mainly for the pretty cover. It was on a buy one get one half price offer, so how am I going to turn that up? And I really enjoyed this. This is a YA fantasy with magic and conflict and war. And it's really well written. The romance isn't too forced. It's a bit sort of, oh, okay, we're going to go for it. But it wasn't too bad. And it was a really good introduction to a completely fantasy world. And the characters were really likeable. I really enjoyed this book. And I sort of wanted to know when the second one was coming out, because I said at the time you could read this as a standalone and it would be okay. But there's very much questions that are still left to be answered. So I'm really, really pleased that this one has been down on the list to come out in September, with the third one beginning of next year. So it'd be great to actually finish the whole trilogy and enjoy it. So there we go. So there's 8 books which are like my priority TBRs, and I could go around and pick out books that I've actually got at home and say, yeah, I need to read this one, I need to read this one. But I wanted to do the virtual ones because I have nothing else to kind of keep them in my mind's eye, as it were. They're just there on a list, and I really need to bring them up and say, no, I want to read these books. These are high on the list. And, you know, their series are either complete or nearly complete. There's no excuse for not getting through these books. And I've tried to give myself a little variety. There's a bit of crime, there's a bit of romance, historical, fantasy and sci-fi, because I like a variety to read. You know, reading one genre all the time does get a bit tedious. Although I do get into ruts where I have to read one style because I'm just in that mood. So there we go. So leave any comments below about your TBR list and how you prioritise what you want to read. I know a lot of people have issues with picking what they want to read on their TBR list. Some people just go down the list and say, I'm just taking the top one of the list. Some of you have these lovely little pots where you've written out all the titles and you dip your hand in and pick one out and go, yay, this one. I can't do that. I like my TBR list to be in total control. I need to decide what I'm going to read, not a random pot. So let me know what you are prioritising to read from your TBR list. Let me know if there's anything on here that you have read and you think, no, don't bother with that, or yay, go for it because you'll really, really like it. I'd like to hear your opinions, please. So finally, we're all part of the book community, booktubers and book bloggers. And so I've wanted to, for a little while now, highlight some book bloggers out there, send a little traffic their way maybe, and just build up links between the two sides of the book community. So this video I am highlighting 3 book bloggers who sent me their links, and I went and visited their sites and quite enjoyed what I was seeing and reading. So first up, I've got Vivian's Book Pavilion. This is Vivian's book blog where she reviews books of all genres, and it's very neat and tidy. What I have liked about all the book blogs I've come across is they are neat and tidy. They're not fussy, which I can't do because then I can't see anything. And I really liked how hers was laid out and the colours and all that. And she's really thoughtful of a reviewer. Then there's Little Book Owl. That's Katrina. Some of you will probably know her because she does have a booktube site as well. But she's really on the ball. She's got a lot of organisation with what's going on across the booktube community, and obviously she links her book blog to her booktube channel, and she's been doing it a little bit longer than I have, so she's very, very organised. And then finally there's WyrmbergMalcolm, which is Malcolm's blog, for his book stuff. Malcolm is my husband who does all my video editing for me, so this is a little shout out to him to send you his way. He's a quirky little book blogger and likes to do book tags and reviews and has a particularly wicked sense of humour, so if you like slightly offbeat blogs to read, then go and check his out. I will leave you the links to everybody's blogs down below in the description blog. Please go and visit them. Please support each other because we are all here to love books. As always, all my social media links are down below: Twitter, Goodreads and Instagram. If you just want books, follow me on Instagram. And thank you very much for watching. As always, please like and subscribe. You know, it'd be nice to meet you guys and have conversations going on in the community. Thank you very much for watching and happy reading.